got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands.
Welcome back to the Ministry of Truth. I'm your number one host on this show, and we're going to quickly just get into what we're talking about today. Is reality real? How do we know? Because someone told us it is? I mean, did someone tell us how we were supposed to think? I'm more likely to believe yes. Yes, they are telling us exactly how to think. And for the longest time, I used to make fun of flat earthers. No lie. But over the past few years, I think maybe I might be saying that it's not round. And I think it's more flat than we think. To what extent, I really didn't know, because I still think we have some kind of curvature. And then I found this documentary. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, hello, NTF. I'm sorry, I was kind of long-winded. But what we got for you today is a documentary on... You ready for it?
Goes around us. That's what this is in the Bible. That's what the first...
assume that the Earth was flat, motionless, with everything in the sky revolving around us. And you can prove that this is the case as well, for instance, with the horizon. As you rise up, no matter how high you go on the top of Mount Everest, or if you go in a balloon higher and higher, we've gotten independent balloons have gone up with cameras. The horizon remains flat all the way around and rises to the eye of the camera all the way up. Totally flat and rises to the eye of the observer. So that's one proof. Now, if the Earth were a ball, no matter how big, the horizon is said to be the curvature of the ball.
If you were to go to NASA, it's all fraud, it's all fake. Pretty much everything NASA puts out is fraudulent. There are no images of Earth from space. Put an end to this topic once and for all, turn the Hubble round and show us Earth in real time, but they will not do it. They can't do it. It doesn't exist. Literally doesn't exist.
Like I said, this is not here to change your mind whatsoever. But this kind of like pushes what I've been starting to think the past few years. Now that the wall between reality and, well, reality obviously isn't really all that legit anymore. The only reality is what you believe not believe, what you're told to believe. But when you hear alternate realities, they make it look like, well, that can't be true. You're just being fucking crazy. Well, I'm starting to think the crazy people are the right ones.
Looking at these images of Earth, including the one they called the Big Blue Marble, which was released in 2002, I think. Zoom into it with Photoshop, you'll see where they've used the clone tool in Photoshop to take a picture of one of the clouds and stamp it in various places around the picture. They got lazy.
If the Earth is 25,000 miles in circumference, there must exist a curvature drop of 8 inches times the mile when you square the mile.
Spaceballs was kind of a true story. They just had to change it up a little bit to make it to where it looked like reality was reality. I don't know. But the moon is Death Star. No, it's not. It's there. Maybe.
1 mile means there should be an 8-inch curvature drop. 2 miles, 2 times 2 times 8 is 32. That's 32-inch drop. 3 miles would be a 72-inch drop. And this would exponentially continue. Here's the longest bridge in the world. The
Hello,
Nanyang
Zippity.
Kongchong Grand Bridge in China. 102.4 miles long. There should exist nearly 7,000 feet of curvature drop in that bridge. 7,000 foot curvature drop. Do you see it? It ain't there. Look at the horizon. It's flat.
You can see in that dive shot that the inside camera, the horizon is completely flat. Then it goes to the outside, and you got a huge curve. But when you're looking at some of the amateur balloon footage, some of it's lens corrected and it's completely flat. And others, like the GoPro stuff, the horizon will fluctuate as the camera spins and tilts. The horizon will go convex and
All about
concave.
angle.
A lens effect. It's obviously not the horizon shifting every 2 seconds as the camera jumps. And when it's still, you can see all the way up, totally flat.
That. It's kind of the way it actually looks when you think of it. But maybe it's just as far as the eye can see. My eye can see. Well, that's what I was thinking too.
NASA is essentially Hollywood, and all the images that you think you've seen of a spinning ball Earth are faked. And all the amateur balloon and rocket footage that we've sent up there shows a flat horizon that rises all the way up. And that's impossible on a ball.
Humans, for the most part, don't have a clue. They don't want one or need one either. They're happy. They think they have a good bead on things.
But why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
The person is smart. People
I
are
know that
dumb,
music in the
panicky,
background is
dangerous.
annoying, but they have to really play that to get their point through, right? Right. That's how it works, though. To be honest, get that loud, suspenseful music, but you can't turn it down. It makes you keep more focused.
Animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. Imagine what you know tomorrow.
Remember, you think about it like movies. What if they were modeled after reality? I mean, think about it. Like the idea came from somewhere, just like everything. You mean people had this really great imagination that just spawned out of nothing?
The horizon, for instance, is always completely flat, and you don't feel any motion. So if you were just born today and looked out, you wouldn't assume that you're standing on a spinning ball. You'd assume that you are on a flat, motionless plane. So to assume that we are on a spinning ball is actually contrary to our common sense and our everyday experience. And there's also experiments that have been done to test
Right.
whether we're on a spinning ball or not.
Hello, Miss Ghetto Business. What's up, man?
My question was, why, if it's a flat Earth, why couldn't you stand on the coast of California with a telescope and see Japan or Hawaii or something? And I think you know the answer to that. I'll let you answer that.
Yeah. You can't see an unlimited distance. The lowest layer is the densest and not transparent. So if you imagine like
Miss Business at all, we're going to talk about flat Earth and how I've changed my opinion on it over the past 5 years, 6 years.
a hot, humid day, the haze over a road, all telescopes will eventually blur out in that same kind of way due to the air. So no, you can't see an infinite distance.
Is the Earth flat or round? It's round. Okay, now let's see. How do we go about proving
Round.
that?
Bill and I told you.
Go to the seashore. Go to a seashore.
Watch. As ships sail away, they don't disappear all at once. No, first, the bottom will disappear. See, the bottom of the ship is gone. Now we can see midway up, and then the whole thing disappears. The ships came back. They didn't fall off the table. So people realized that the world is curved. I mean, it's a big curve, but it's curved. So, the process of testing claims, the world is flat, the world is round, is what we call science. Now, if you have a claim that can't be tested, that's what we call pseudoscience. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof.
Boats don't disappear over the curvature of the horizon. Boats disappear due to perspective. All you have to do is go to the beach, watch a boat disappear from your eye, and then whip out your telescope, your binoculars, or your high-powered zoom on your camera, and you can pull the entire boat right back into view. Whole mass and all. Yeah, that's right. You think the boat disappeared?
But I thought it
Just whip out your telescope, your binoculars, or your zoom camera. You bring the entire boat back into view, completely debunking everything Coy just told you. And here's my video proof.
Extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof.
Imagine that. You can debunk the curvature of the Earth yourself with just a simple zoom on your camera. Bye-bye, little boat.
The flat Earth, well, that didn't stand up to tests. The round Earth did.
And you guys, come on. Everybody watches newscasts. You all use mobile phones. You all see airplanes fly around. You all go
wait for he uses the special word. Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
to see Ed Sheeran in concert one day in London, another day in Melbourne, Australia. This all depends on our fundamental understanding of the size of the Earth and its shape with extraordinary precision.
What the fuck did you just say?
The way we teach science is you're just some empty vessel and we pour the science into you and then you regurgitate it on an exam. Because Earth, we know it spins once a day, yes.
Off to a great start.
So you spin, when you spin pizza dough, it kind of flattens out. It gets wider in the middle. And so Earth, throughout its life, even when it formed, it was spinning. And it got a little wider at the equator than it does at the pole. Not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good way. It's like pear-shaped.
Yeah.
So, it turns out the pear-shapedness is bigger than the height of Mount Everest above sea level. Well, let me just so you understand. We've been fed a lie our entire... I want to call it a lie. We've been fed...
It's a point of view thing, I think.
We've been fed Earth has been misrepresented to us by...
Science!
There it is.
Pear-shaped. Pear-shaped.
Science!
So they're all trying to figure out, is the universe spinning around us or are we spinning around the universe? They tell you, we don't know shit. We're looking at a bunch of lights in the goddamn sky. You're gonna tell me that light and that light, that's 250, 100 trillion light years away? How the fuck did you figure that out? And you learn...
Don't they have an explanation for that shit?
No, exactly. That's what you just said right now. What you just said now is what everyone's natural reaction. Because anytime someone says anything about space, you automatically think, someone figured it out. You don't know the guy's name. You don't know the name of the experiment. You didn't look into it yourself. You just think when someone tells you, how far is the Earth from the sun? They'll say,
Google
93 million miles away. Like you just,
Google
everybody relies on
Let me go get my display.
someone figured that out and someone double checked it. You're going on what you read. And right now, cosmology, they don't know what the fuck to do. You know what they found out? The cosmic microwave background shows that all the galaxies are on shelves lined up to us. That we're at the fucking center. They don't know what to think about. Yeah, there's a lot of controversy going on about it.
Well, you should see the stars do all sorts of strange motions, but you don't. You only see them make these perfect circles. That tells me that it's the stars that are moving, not the Earth.
The Copernicus principle, the one that we live by, is that we're insignificant, we mean nothing, we're a speck in the universe. That's the heliocentric model, that we go around the sun. The geocentric model means that everything goes around us. That's what this is in the Bible. That's what the first astronomers were saying. Ptolemy was the first one to say, yeah, we are the center. You can tell based on these observations, everything's revolving around us.
Earth is the center of the universe, and we stand still, and the universe spins around us.
You know what? They've lied so much. NASA's lied so goddamn much that I don't believe shit
I see. They've got that satellite image of that frozen moon. What's that frozen moon?
Oh, let me see if that's CGI. Find that They got a picture of a frozen fucking moon? I guarantee you it's CGI. No way they could take a picture.
Heliocentric models in trouble. Watch as the sunlight shrinks and follows the sun. It's definitely a locally illuminating sun, not far away, not very big, and definitely not 93 million miles away.
Crazy, isn't it? I mean, allegedly, because, you know, some people don't believe this.
There's a place in Bolivia called Salar de Uyuni, which is a salt flat. It's literally 100 miles wide one way and 80 miles across, and it's perfectly flat. And when it rains, literally you get an inch of water, and it looks like a perfect mirror. Now, how does that happen on a sphere? Yeah, it shows you that, you know, if you're one end of this salt flat, you can see perfectly clearly the other end 100 miles away. So it's just showing you that, you know, the Earth is flat, and without the effect of the waves in the sea, you'll be able to see a whole lot further.
Like being in heaven.
We took a picture across the Great Lakes from Michigan, and was able to see, I believe, Chicago, which he shouldn't have been able to see. And the television station basically said it was a mirage.
I found this photo, Randmere State Park. This is from Joshua Nowicki, and what you're seeing here is a mirage. You typically would not be able to see this from the Lake Michigan shore. We talked about this last night. Conditions are right on the lake that we're actually seeing a mirage of the Chicago skyline.
Okay.
Very interesting here. Here's what's happening. This is a good example of a superior mirage. So Joshua was on the Lake Michigan shore. He was looking towards the west, and Chicago's beyond the horizon. Should not be able to see it. However, with the right conditions, we have an inversion. We have cold air near the cold lake water and some relatively warmer air above it. This will bend the image of that skyline back towards the viewer. And so typically we would not be able to see this. This image would be viewable from much, much higher in the sky.
They always say it's a mirage, but for a mirage to happen, you have to have very specific atmospheric conditions. You know, it's not a mirage, it's simply that you're looking across a plane.
Now, how come in all these ball pictures man, you can see all the continents pretty much, and there's just a little bit of clouds here and there. Man, it's like some of these pictures, like there's some where they show the Earth at night and you can see all the lights and stuff. It's like, you're telling me the entire continent didn't have clouds? The entire fucking continent, like you can see Africa and all these lights and all this stuff. Like, you know, if you turn on your porch light, I guess you can see it from space, apparently. And it's like there's no clouds in some of these pictures.
And they spelled out the word sex, right, recently, probably a few months ago in one of the clouds.
But, you know, if they do their research, they say, well, those are composites. And I said, well, how come they copy and paste the clouds on some of these? And they use the same cloud form. Like, if you're going to make a composite, but you shouldn't be copying and pasting clouds. That means you're adding stuff that's not real.
Yeah, and the thing is, those pictures that you're talking about, the blue marble pictures, you know, I think there's about maybe 8 to 10 of them over time that NASA has put out, and you're absolutely right. None of those pictures look the same. The color of the water is different. Like you said, the continents are different sizes. It's just unbelievable. And I think what happened originally was they would put these things out and nobody was paying any attention to it. You know, and then all of a sudden now, people are paying attention to it, and now they're pulling these pictures in, and it's an obvious fraud.
What?
And the thing is, there's supposedly tens of thousands of satellites orbiting Earth.
Oh, you're gonna fall down, dum-dum.
We can't get any close-ups of Earth. We can't get a view of Australia with the buildings upside down.
And they'll look at you like you're crazy. But really, you are the sane one for asking real questions. They're the fucking idiots for just repeating school book bullshit. That's how it works. I was taught school book bullshit in public school, and somehow I was able to break free and free my mind. You know how I did it? I watched NASA rockets explode a bunch of times. Fly off sideways and not go to space.
If you watch the trajectory of the space shuttle, it doesn't go straight up. It always goes in a curve and out to sea. The point is, they actually go horizontal. The space shuttle goes horizontal. It never goes any further up. It goes horizontal, very, very low down in the atmosphere. You know, it's still in the atmosphere while it's horizontal, so it never gets any higher. And it goes out of sight, not because it goes too high, because it goes too far downrange. And they have a plane that's mocked up to look like a space shuttle, it's a jet-powered aircraft. That's it. It's not a glider. It's an aircraft. And that's what they're fooling us, taking billions of dollars in and giving us images and fake planes for that 10 billion, you know, however many billions of dollars it is. What goes up must come down, and literally we have not ever seen anything that has ever gone up and not come down.
One thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system.
Right.
We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go.
Oh. Man.
Rockets don't have brakes. It's
sure
it
don't.
literally stopped. All of that angular momentum from the rotation of the rocket and the linear momentum from flying up just stopped. No, it had to have hit something. But what did it hit? If it hit a solid surface, the rocket would have been destroyed, and most likely the camera too, so we wouldn't have the footage, and obviously that's not the case.
Kicks and deals. It's a long fly ball going back. And the ball shatters the sky, bringing the ocean itself down into the stadium. Oh, Simpson just broke this dream's reality wide open.
I know we have still not shattered that highest and hardest glass ceiling, but someday someone will, and hopefully sooner than we might think right now.
There's no place to go.
Although we weren't able to shatter that highest, hardest glass ceiling this time, thanks to you, it's got about 18 million cracks in it. And it may be hard to see tonight, but we are all standing under a glass ceiling.
I know, right?
People figured out that we were an enclosed system. The more advanced we got, it would be the biggest thought on our minds. That's all we care about. You could make a wildlife preserve 1,000 miles square. All people, all human beings would do is just be knocking on the fence constantly, going, why is this fence here? Who built the fence? Why are we in here? And so on and so on.
Why do you think that Truman has never come close to discovering the true nature of his world until now?
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented.
Earth. Yep. Earth. Yep.
Not this, but the alien.
If you start here, and you go around long enough in the same direction, you wind up in the place you started from. Yes, Thomas?
Why don't we fall off when we walk underneath, Miss Sarah?
Because of a force called gravity.
What does gravity look like?
Gravity is something we can't see, but we know it's a great invisible force that keeps us all here on Earth. It's a natural force that keeps us all from flying off into space.
We were always told that the world is flat.
You are told right. Don't listen to her. I've been patient with you, Sarah. Lord knows I've been patient, but now your words have revealed you.
The law of gravity was discovered by Sir Isaac Newton in 1687. That's almost 200 years ago, Uncle Evan.
But there is only one law. The law of God.
What is gravity?
You have no idea. Okay, next question.
Wow.
No, here's the difference. We can describe gravity. Okay. We can say what it does to other things. We can measure it, predict with it. But when you start asking, like, what it is, I don't know. Einstein, in an Einsteinian answer, we would say gravity is the curvature of space and time. And objects will follow the curvature of space-time, and we interpret that as a force of gravity. That's probably the best answer I can give to a what is gravity question, or why is there gravity. That's the best I can do there. I think that's a good start.
The world is round.
What?
You know how everybody believes the world is flat, like a pancake? Well, they're all wrong. The world is actually round, like an orange.
The world is an orange. And?
friend. Well, that's it. It's a great idea. It's one of my best ones.
Yeah, but what kind of orange? Is it a navel or a juicer? What?
Look, just sleep on it. In the morning, the idea will come to you again, and you won't even remember where you got it. Get it?
Got it.
Good. I must say, I really thought you'd catch on to this a little quicker, Copernicus.
What? My name's not Copernicus. I'm Charlene Sinclair.
You're not Copernicus? This isn't 16th century Poland? Oh boy, I screwed up.
How do you brainwash? You repeat the same thing over and over again. You know, if somebody's resisting the concept, if you keep fucking repeating it, they'll incorporate it in their brain. Since you were a kid, you've seen this, but you've never seen it from that point of view. But your brain has three-dimensionalized. Oh yeah, that's the Earth. How? Through repetition.
Let's just all get on our hands and knees and wait for a scientist or an astronaut to come along, or Neil deGrasse Tyson to come along and bestow upon us their knowledge.
Now, as you can see, this is the evolution meter, and I put God, the creator of everything, on the right side, and evolution on the left. I won't change my mind, because I don't have to, because I'm an American. I'm dug in, and I'll never change.
Mac, look, you're wasting our time. You're not going to get us to not believe in evolution.
And why is that?
Because the smartest scientists in the entire world all agree that it's real.
I'm glad you brought that up. Mr. Reynolds, these were all the smartest scientists. Only problem is, they kept being wrong!
This is insane, you fool!
I'm a fool because I have more faith in the saints that wrote the Bible?
Yeah. Because you just read the words of a bunch of guys that you never met, and you just take it on faith that everything they wrote was true.
And what makes you think what your scientists are writing is any more truer than my saints?
Because there are volumes of proven data, numbers, figures.
Have you poured through the data yourself? The numbers, the figures?
Well, no. No.
Oh, interesting. So let me get this straight, Mr. Reynolds. You get your information from a book written by men you've never met, and you take their words as truth based on a willingness to believe, a desire to accept, a leap of, dare I say it, faith?
Come on. Look, I mean, I don't even know how I'm supposed to respond to that. Like, come on.
I rest my case.
Matter tells space how to curve. Space tells...
That makes sense. If you believe everybody that tells you it's that way because, you know, they've got this college education and they've been doing this for years and years and years, and they study this. But are they studying what somebody else already proven right or wrong or otherwise? Because you taught the same shit in school over and over and over again. People don't have free thought, free will. Well, free will, yeah. But having free thought makes you a terrible person, a crazy person. Department of Homeland Security calls you a domestic terrorist.
The science community is ignoring a lot of the things that we're looking at, and so normal people are going out and doing experiments. And one of the experiments has turned up an amazing fact that we've not been told, and it destroys the whole idea of this heliocentric system, and that is the moon. Now you can actually measure the temperature of the moonlight next to the temperature of the shade of the moonlight, and you'll find the moonlight is colder than the shade, the opposite from the sun. So the moon is throwing out its own light, and that light is the opposite from the sun. Now, that tells you that it's not reflecting the sun's light. It's producing its own, and its light is different from the sun's. So, you know, the scientific community have not told us this, because they won't tell us this, because it destroys this idea that the sun is, is lighting up the moon.
Everyone knows, like, if you're in sunlight, it's colder in the shade, right? So if it's 100 degrees in the sun, it's 90 degrees in the shade. You go to the moonlight, like especially in a full moon, especially if it's high in the sky, the moon is its own independent object. It is not reflecting the sun rays. The sun is its own object, also, about the same size, which is, again, coincidentally.
Look at that picture right there. That's how they're saying we're actually traveling. Not knowing that it's not a globe, it's actually flat. But the way we're circling it is not the way everybody thinks we are.
Why the moon fits so perfectly in front of the sun during an eclipse. We always thought it was a coincidence that even though it was 400 times farther away, that it was also exactly 400 times less diameter, which is why it fits. And the other weird thing about the moon, which everyone thinks, oh, it's just a coincidence, is that we never see the other side of it. It's constantly perfectly rotating, so we only see one side of the moon. Exactly one side. It's not like we have like a quarter of a degree every 5 years or half a degree here and there. It's always the same side. There are no coincidences when it comes to this system. It was deliberately built, but I think it was deliberately built to be detected. And I think we were naturally supposed to figure this thing out maybe as late as the 1970s, but the government figured it out first, and they have been spending a heck of a lot of money trying to keep it a secret.
Kind of like a lighthouse.
When I look at the people who signed the Antarctic Treaty, and all the nations that were down there doing whatever they were doing signed a treaty, and I believe it was 1958 or somewhere thereabouts, saying, nope, nobody can stake a claim to Antarctica, and if you're going to go down there, you can only go down there for scientific reasons under carefully restricted guidance, but it's not a free-for-all. Nobody can just, hey, I'm going to go check out Antarctica and do a high jump of my own. No, can't do it.
It's the only treaty that's all these countries have signed and never broken and completely agreed on. It's the only one. What treaty is there that everybody's agreed on? We're being kept away from it for a reason. They have some scientific bases there, and literally it's controlled by the military because they don't want you finding out what's beyond.
During 3 voyages lasting 3 years and 8 days, Captain Cook and crew sailed a total of 60,000 miles along the Antarctic coastline, never once finding an inlet or path through or beyond the massive glacial wall. So the other question is, well, how come ships don't go off the sea if it's flat? How come ships don't fall off the edge? Well, here's why you don't fall off the edge. There's a 200 to 300 foot high wall that is the border that Scripture says is keeping everything in. Nothing's going past that.
Because they don't want you finding out what's beyond.
No, almost like water wall.
Personally, I think the unconquered south face is the only one worth scaling. It's a 20,000-foot sheer wall of ice. But that's never stopped me before. Risk? Of course I'm aware of the risks. Thank you for your concern.
Here's the picture of the Earth from space. There it is.
They made us to believe that the flat Earth theory makes you crazy. Huh.
Since you were a kid, you've seen this image. But you've never seen it from that point of view. You've never seen that with your eyes from that scale of a model, that point of view, from outside of the planet's surface. Well, here's the first image that sold the whole thing. 1482. This is when they came up with this idea. We are on that thing. It's a ball. Hey, we should go to the North and the South Pole. We didn't do it yet. It's a fucking ball. Hey, nobody's even jumped up high enough to see if it is a ball. You can't do that. We don't have planes yet. It's a ball. You know what? We adopted this whole model 400 or 500 years before the airplane. 400 years before the airplane, pretty much. It was beginning of the 1900s. They went to the North Pole in the 1900s. This is 1482. Nobody went to the top of the globe, to the bottom, or flew up, or built a skyscraper. It's funny that we said that this is This is what we're in right now. This is what we're on before any instrument of proof. This is the first time we actually had like an instrument of flight. Actually go high enough to actually fucking check out if what we agreed to 500 years ago was real. So if they were wrong, after 500 years, the question is, would they tell you? Newtonian physics, why objects move on a ball spinning 1,000 miles an hour while it's going 26,000 miles around the sun. Basically the model we accepted right now.
The sailor thinks that he's traveling around the Earth this way, when in effect he's traveling around the Earth this way.
They began flying it around the world, from Abu Dhabi last year, with stops in India and China, then across the vast Pacific.
Does running round your neighborhood prove that the neighborhood is round?
I was an airline pilot for Delta for 26 years. A pilot's primary flight instrument is his artificial horizon, which he has to be maintained level to keep from climbing and descending. From a cockpit, weather permitting, I could see hundreds of miles in all directions, viewing cities connected by roads across the flat plain as far as the eye could see. Nothing ever leaned.
If a pilot is flying around the curve of the Earth, then he should be dipping the nose down, and every 5 minutes he should be dipping the nose down to stay around the curve. That's absolute proof that a plane flies over a flat surface rather than a curved one. But I went to the manufacturer of the artificial horizon, and they confirmed to me that it's completely mechanical, nothing electronic in it whatsoever. So it's literally just a gyroscope that can freely move. That right there is proof to me that planes fly over a plane.
No. That explains why we always had to go up to like Maine or something.
Flat Earthers, it's time. We are going to destroy the Globeheads' arguments concerning flight routes.
When you go onto the plane tracking software, you'll see hundreds and hundreds of flights over the northern hemisphere, and you can track those flights from beginning to end. When you look at any flight in the southern hemisphere, what you'll find is the flight takes off and disappears off the tracking.
And that only leaves why. Why have they done this? What's the point of this grand deception? I think Eric Dubay explains it best.
People are always asking, why do they do this? Other than the obvious profit margin motive, NASA being the biggest black budget black hole in existence, sucking in over $30 billion taxpayer money for the fake moon landings alone. Nowadays, hundreds of billions of dollars, and not just NASA, but RASA and all the other fake space organizations around the world, giving CGI images for hundreds of billions of dollars.
You want to put something in context. If you want to do something with $3.5 trillion, you can do whatever you want. Whatever you judge to be important to the profile of the nation that you are trying to just build and to sustain.
So by surreptitiously indoctrinating us into their scientific materialist sun worship, not only do we lose faith in anything beyond the material, we gain absolute faith in materiality, superficiality, status, selfishness, hedonism, and consumerism. If there's no God and everyone's just an accident, then all that really matters is me, me, me. So they've turned Madonna, the mother of God, into the material girl living in a material world.
It's all about making us feel nothing, so that we can be used. If everybody realised how special we all are, how unique every single life is, then this whole world would change overnight.
we wouldn't allow ourselves to be used by this cabal.
I start from the supposition that the world is topsy-turvy, that things are all wrong, that the wrong people are in jail and the wrong people are out of jail, that the wrong people are in power, that the wealth is distributed in this country and the world in such a way as not simply to require small reform, but to require a drastic reallocation of wealth. All we have to do is think about the state of the world today and realize that things are all upside down. Now, if you don't think, if you just listen to TV and read scholarly things, you actually begin to think that things are not so bad, or that just little things are wrong. But you have to get a little detached and then come back and look at the world, and you are horrified. Now, as soon as you say the topic is civil disobedience, you're saying our problem is civil disobedience. That is not our problem. Our problem is civil obedience.
I think all our society is run by insane people for insane objectives. You know, and I think that's what I sussed when I was 16 and 12, way down the line. But I expressed it differently all through my life. It's the same thing I'm expressing all the time, but now I can put it into that sentence that I think we're being run by maniacs for maniacal ends, you know. If anybody can put on paper what our government and the American government, etc., and the Russian, Chinese, what they are actually trying to do, you know, and what they think they're doing, I'd be very pleased to know what they think they're doing. I think they're all insane, you know, but I'm liable to be put away as insane for expressing that. You know, that's what's insane about it.
If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat, that's worth reporting.
Should we still debate whether the Earth is flat?
Like they used to think the sun went around the Earth. Everybody say that's scientists. Well, he's so smart.
Until other science refuted it.
Right, but back then, like everybody at that time thought that guy was smart. Why at this time do we think that the Earth goes around the sun?
There's an overwhelming science that the Earth was flat, and there was an overwhelming science that
you learn over time.
We were the center of the world.
You're just taking an authority's word for it, and all we're saying is be skeptical. Sure. And while you're being skeptical, there's a bunch of evidence that's totally against the mainstream version. And while you're being skeptical and looking at that evidence, you start compiling more and more of the evidence until you become like me, you know the truth. I don't believe the Earth is flat and motionless. I know it is.
There was a lot of things that I thought I knew that now suddenly turned out to be completely different. They can't just impose stuff on us. They have to tell us about it and wait for our consent. And silence is considered consent. If the sun was 93 million miles away, you wouldn't see that. We see in perspective. That is, the horizon is at our eye level. And as things recede from us, they tend to converge to the center of that horizon line, to a place that's known as the vanishing point. The sun rotates around us and only appears to rise and set because of the way our vision works. Try and watch the following video without the preconception that the sun rises and sets, but rather moves further away.
The images of your world with curves or as a ball are CGI. You've seen those images all your life. They're paintings.
they're computer-generated images, or a little of both. Anything with a curve and the Earth is a fake. It's a fraud. You have never, with your naked eyes, ever seen the Earth as a ball from space. You never have. But you just have blind faith that that's what it looks like.
If the Earth were actually a big ball, the horizon should sink as you ascend, not rise to your eye level. And it would dip at each end of your periphery, not remain flat all around, the horizon rising with the camera level and remaining perfectly flat 360 degrees around.
All the ancient cultures from the beginning of time have depicted a flat, kind of enclosed Earth. So we have this flat Earth cosmology all the way up into the 1900s when a big push was made to Earth.
Not that one.
So we have this flat Earth cosmology all
I actually have that one right there. Got it from the Library of Congress.
All the way up into the 1900s when a big push was made to live on this round spinning ball flying around the sun. They are basically placing us on a speck of dust flying through infinite space where it was made from this accidental Big Bang. And we really don't mean very much, and everything is kind of an accident, and it kind of leads you into this mentality where things are meaningless. It doesn't matter what you do in life, but the more you research, the more you'll find that you can't prove the spinning ball Earth unless you're suffering from cognitive dissonance and you've been programmed your entire life. All scientific experiments show that we're being lied to about what mainstream science is saying about the Earth.
If a pilot is flying around the curve of the Earth, then he should be dipping the nose down every 5 minutes. He should be dipping the nose down to stay around the curve. That's absolute proof that a plane flies over a flat surface rather than a curved one. A lot of people have these laser thermometers. Now, you can actually measure the temperature of the moonlight next to the temperature of the shade of the moonlight, and you'll find the moonlight is colder than the shade opposite from the sun. So the moon's throwing out its own light. The scientific community have not told us this.
Mainstream science says that we can see the curve visible at 35,000 feet, but when we're watching an amateur balloon flight without a fisheye lens or a wide-angle lens on it, there is no curve to be seen. And basically, if we were living on a ball or a sphere of any sort, no matter how high you rise, you would have to look down to see the horizon. Yet when you take these cameras to 100,000 feet, the horizon is still at eye level. That's inconsistent with any kind of spherical shape whatsoever.
others. They've got smaller gatekeepers for the flat earth that they've brought in to distort the message, and they give fake flat earth arguments, hoping that you'll reach them before you reach someone like me, and then you'll hear their stupid arguments saying that gravity's real, but the flat earth disk is constantly rising, and that's what causes us to, things to fall. They'll give explanations like this, which to any sound thinking person will totally reject, and then they'll totally reject the entire flat earth model based on these little bits of disinformation that are being given. 200 proofs Earth is not a spinning ball, and that's just 200. I came up with 200 because William Carpenter came up with 100 in the 1800s, and I wanted to double it. I could come up with 400 if you give me enough time and incentive. People are doing it right now.
Scientists vote that the Earth is flat.
Because of actual, observable, testable, repeatable, natural science that we can do ourselves. The kind of science, in quotes, that you're getting from these figureheads is not observable, testable, repeatable, natural science that you can do yourself. It's stuff that they claim that only they can do with a Hubble telescope. Only we can take images, CGI images of fake planets with our Hubble telescope. You can't. Condemnation without investigation is the height of ignorance. And I think that, Einstein was right about that. I don't believe in anything, but I do investigate everything. I don't just take things at face value or take somebody's word for it. I want to know for myself. And if I can't know for myself, then I will happily be in the place of not knowing. They need to have some authority figure telling them answers, and they're going to believe that, and that makes them feel safe. But me, I'm the opposite, where I like to be skeptical, and I think everybody would be better off if they did that.
Not trusting the media for this and all that. Not trusting the history books, yet we still believe the Earth is round because those are all the things that tell you it's round. Who do you believe?
Instead of just believing some authority figure that tells you you're on a spinning ball that was exploded out of a big bang and you're a monkey man that evolved. You know, it's ridiculous, and it's obvious why they're doing it. They want you to think you're a monkey, a purposeless accident that comes from nothing. while they steal $50 million of your tax money every day. The motive is obvious. CGI images of fake planets with our Hubble telescope. But you can take a regular telescope and you can see that the images they give you are complete nonsense, cartoons, and what it actually looks like is pulsating lights in the sky. Lights in the sky.
Okay, oh, that star is 700,000 light years away from that constellation. I was all into that. I was totally into it. I was super into anything space. Are you kidding? The Science Channel?
Oh my God, you had me. You had me so good.
With the CGI, with all those CGI DVDs. All those DVDs, BBC Nova, were floating in space, spinning around the sun, and the sun has got some gravitational pull on us, and we got the gravitational pull on the moon. That doesn't make sense. That's not science to me. When people talk about science this, science that, I go, explain to me how that is science. There's a force that's holding oceans, keeping it from spinning and flying off because it's spinning 1,000 miles an hour. But as soon as we get to a certain altitude, it's all magic. It's not science. All that's magic. Us floating in space, and we're being connected to the sun. It has this force that's connected. That seems crazy. And we're flying through the universe, and the universe is endless. Like people say, well, if the Earth is flat, where's the edge? Like, where's the edge of this motherfucking universe?
The center of the world.
Understanding what reality is very, very important to me. I think it should be important to everybody. And I think the more that people become perhaps what they call spiritually aware or awake, they're starting to see through things, how things have been manipulated and reality's been created for them.
If God forbid everybody came and started demanding answers, and once they can't provide those answers, people realize they are busted. It can't be a mistake. It can't be anything but the deception and control mechanism it is. Because people are waking up. And no matter how much they try to suppress this flat earth movement, oh, it's gonna keep moving one way or another. You can see it. People are waking up. So now, louder than ever, I can hear that clock. Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock.
In other breaking news, the world is round, not flat.
A strange message on Mount Rubidoux. The words Google Flat Earth were found carved into the Riverside Hill in letters that were 10 feet long. Police talked to the person who did it. He's not facing charges yet. One possible explanation of the message: some still believe the world is flat, not round, and post about it online.
So you can check with theodolites and telescopes and different methods, lasers, to see if the Earth actually does have that curvature. And it's been tested over and over again and found to have no curvature whatsoever. So I mean, even if they had the number wrong and it was 100,000 miles in circumference, there would still be a calculable, measurable curvature that just isn't there. The only place curvature exists is in NASA photos and videos, and those can be proven to be CGI fakes. And the early ones were literally taken through a round window to make the Earth appear round. Literally taken through a round window to make the Earth appear round.
Oh, this is a shot from 130,000 miles out. I guess it's from approaching. It's from approaching the moon, looking back at the Earth. If that's the Earth, is that like another spacecraft?
No. That I have no idea what that is. It's some aberration on the film of some sort. Oh, those are shadows, I think. Or reflection, probably reflections that are just reflecting.
Run that back again so we get another shot of it.
Okay, turn off the camera. Your interview is done. I've given you all the time I'm going to give you.
Okie dokie. It's good to meet you.
I don't say it's a pleasure.
Understand.
Please get your ass out of my house.
Okay.
And you came here under false pretenses, and I think you're an asshole.
Lying about going to the moon is a satanic lie of gigantic proportions.
I don't hit people, but you're going to be on the deck unless you get
I'm heading out. I appreciate it.
And get the hell out of my house.
Oh.
You'll get a gun and shoot them at them before they get out of the office?
We have a video camera running if you want to do it.
Right.
That would be great footage for us. See you later. In court, I hope. Want to call the CIA? Have them whacked? Where you put a transparency over the window and move the camera of the Earth and move the camera back away from the window. Turn off the lights in the spacecraft and appeared to be halfway to the moon when in fact they were in Earth orbit.
Huh, really?
Yeah, and they said it was the same way that you did it on Apollo 10. So we wanted to give you the opportunity to put your left hand on the Bible, to raise your right hand, to swear to God.
Stick it in your ear.
If you walked on the moon, we're giving you the opportunity to swear to God that you walked on the moon.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to get the hell knocked out of you if you don't leave me alone.
We found a very unique reel of footage that we have queued up to show you.
Yeah.
And it's from the mission. And to our knowledge, no one has ever seen it before. And it's 30 years old.
And you want me to see this while you have me on camera?
Well, and to tell us what it is. That's correct. And you'll see this tape proves that.
Okay, well, I'm not interested in satisfying your suppositions when there's all this evidence that we did.
This proves, as you see, that you were using the window to demonstrate that you were halfway to the moon when you were
Turn the camera off,
Good.
Turn the camera off.
Didn't I?
Well, you're talking to the wrong guy. Why don't you talk to the administrator at NASA? We're passengers. We're guys going on a flight.
You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
Oh my God.
Did you see shooting stars? Did you see the shooting stars?
Yeah, I'm getting to that.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of noise going on. So I don't know the results of some of the experiments they've conducted. The point is they can't get that far from here, and they're really in the protective confines of the Earth. They're really in the protective confines of the Earth. They're really in the protective
International Space Crew attempted a spacewalk outside the station. Here's a live look at the astronauts. Well, I don't believe that. Yeah, where's their space?
So this is photo trickery and brainwashing that's got the world thinking that we're on a ball spinning around the sun with a magical force called gravity holding us on the underside of this spinning ball. It's all just brainwashing that we've received. It's pseudoscience accepted as legit science. But real science has confirmed geocentricity in the flat Earth. Flat Earth. Flat Earth. The best way to brainwash the whole world, to lie to the whole world about what the world is. In reality, We're not a cosmic accidental sneeze, nothingness turned everything. This is quite obviously intelligently designed, this thing we're experiencing here, this life, this universe. I can't believe anyone in their right mind can look me in the eyes with a straight face and say, no man, it's all random.
So,
be open-minded about this.
Right around the same time I got the genealogy test done, I figured out where my background was, and I started going back and actually paying attention to who I am and who my culture. Then I started realizing more and more stuff like this once I got away from the mainstream media, the mainstream religions, all that stuff. All the stuff that I've been finding have been pushing me in this direction. And maybe it is the Bible that fucking that is the biggest key. Bible and the government are actually one and the same.
This is very, very controversial and difficult to get your head round. The first of which is the scientific method, something that the scientific community doesn't seem to use these days. But the scientific method is where a theory or opinion is put forward that matches what we observe. The other thing we have to accept is how easily our minds, once they've been programmed or given a world view, how easily those minds can be fooled.
I used to dream, I used to glance beyond the stars. Now I don't know where we are.
Oh shit. No, one of my most favorite conspiracy movies of all time. And, well, there it is. It's true. Maybe getting out of the army and that veil got lifted. Brainwashed was over and I opened it up.
The Earth isn't spinning or orbiting or being dragged. The Earth is fixed and it's the stars that are moving.
People can't stand change. They don't like what they don't understand. We all have our own pursuit of happiness. Don't listen to someone's story and say, and what? You need more? Is their happiness not good enough for you? So you judge them like you know. True happiness brings happiness to others. We are all a family. Separate family trees connected at the root. We are intelligent beings with the mind, body, and soul who truly want world peace. At least that's my goal. What happened to love? All I see is hate. The way we treat others on earth, death and chaos is our only fate. Every living thing has value and should be treated as such. We only have one earth, but act like we have so much. Do you not realize we are in control, not the 2%, who so-called own the world because it was money well spent? When there is no food, will you eat the money? When there is nothing left, will you still think this is funny? Remember, I warned you. I hope I opened your eyes so the world really gets better before it's too late to realize. Please spread the word. Please spread the word. Please spread the word. Please spread the word.
The directive I'm signing today will refocus America's space program on human exploration and discovery. It marks an important step in returning American astronauts to the moon for the first time since 1972 for long-term exploration and use. This time, we will not only plant our flag and leave our footprint, we will establish a foundation for an eventual mission to Mars and perhaps someday to many worlds beyond.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, And it's a painful process to build it back again. It's a painful process to build it back again.
Many of us and many other people in many places have speculated on the meaning of this first landing on another body in space. Would each of you give us your estimate of what is the meaning of this to all of us?
You want to try that? Can't forget.
Wait.
That's how fake what they're showing us is.
Smoke and mirrors.
It is fake because it's fake. And they're going to continue to fake it until they're gone. They must only exist to perpetrate the fraud. That's their entire goal.
We've been lied to. I will not be fooled by aliens coming because there are no aliens. There's no space.
It's bottom of the barrel garbage. I don't see anything that tells me that we've been outside of low Earth orbit. So if that's the case, then that means that they can only get so high and they might be able to fly around at that height. But after that, everything from that point, and if you want to know that point, watch any space launch video. It's the point where the camera switches. Simple. So many people believe things that they've never done research on because it seems to be matter of fact.
No shit.
You have to use your own imagination as to what the world might be because we were lied to about what it is. My imagination isn't trying to deceive me.
This world is very different from what most people think it is.
Rise up, look at that great cosmic light and think about it. That gets up in the eastern horizon every morning and moves across the sky with a kind of symphony of motion and paints its technicolor across the blue, a light that man can never make.
Oh.
It would be very simple indeed to just silence everybody, put an end to this topic once and for all, turn the Hubble round and show us Earth in real time, zooming in onto a place so that we can see what's happening at that place and we know that there is something up there looking down on us from space. But they will not do it. They can't do it. It doesn't exist. It literally doesn't exist.
The same guys that fake
There's a bunch of
the greatest
satellites up there that have been in there for fucking decades. How come you never see them in any of the pictures from the space station and all that?
human achievement of all mankind. They fake 6 of them, and this is where I thought we had like scientists just fucking, oh, there's all these scientists with their telescopes and they're looking, and that's what I thought. I go, what about all the scientists? Yeah, all these scientists, they're looking at telescopes. That's what I thought. But they're all looking at telescopes, all these scientists. They're looking at telescopes. And then you find out they're not fucking looking at it. The same motherfuckers who fake 6 moon missions, these are the same guys that are giving us all our information on space. Right there, I'm like, oh, they're lying to us. Everything they're saying to us, they're lying to us. Everything is a lie. They're all saying, but the information about space, no, that's true. I get that. That's true. No, it's fucking all bullshit. All you got to do is look into it, and you're going to realize that it's all bullshit. All bullshit. All the information on space, bullshit. Can you name 5 scientists that are alive? Name 5 scientists that are alive. I'm waiting.
This next question comes from Twitter.
Sorry, I'm trying to push through this because as soon as I started doing this, for some reason, like a migraine kicked in big time. So I don't know if like the government's like, maybe it's just coincidence. I don't know.
User Aku, who asks, any estimations on how old these discovered exoplanets are?
Yeah, the age of the star and the system itself is poorly constrained. We know it's not very young. It doesn't show signs of youngness, so it's at least 500 million years old. But we can't say more because these ultra-cool dwarf stars, they evolve super slowly. Their lifetime is 1,000 times larger than for a sun-like stars. So we don't see them evolving, so we can't constrain their ages.
All right, this next question comes from Facebook Live here. What is the distance between these 3 planets? Is it something like 500,000 kilometers? And what is the distance between E and the star?
Oh, the distance between the planets are a few times the distance between the Earth and the Moon. So we're talking about something like millions of kilometers and not hundreds of millions of kilometers for an Earth around a sun-like star. And for the planet F, the distance is something like 5% the distance between the Earth and the Sun. So it's much closer to its star.
I think it's important that everybody does their own research, and I try to point that out as often as possible, and I try to say it as often as I can, because if you ever are listening to what someone's telling you, or you're watching me point out space fakery or what I think is a hoax, I'm doing that to kind of get you on your way. But all of space travel is fake. All of outer space and the way that we've been taught it, planets and nebulas, is completely different than we've been taught. And that realization ultimately comes with looking into this stuff yourself. People think space is what they've been told because they've been told. And that goes for scientists, that goes for professors to look into
What is
the
Elon
things
Musk
that they're
trying
teaching.
to do with SpaceX? Prove that it's not. Wait. To keep it more hidden? Or to tell you the truth? Because you really can't go and be like, oh yeah, Elon's, satellites are real. His cameras are real when they show the exact same shit as NASA.
To tell children that they're spinning on a ball is an extraordinary claim. And to say that we're flying through space and that the atmosphere sticks with Earth sounds like extraordinary claims. Sounds like it's just ad hoc explanations for things that we would see on a spinning ball that we don't see because it's not spinning and it's not a ball. If they found out that what they're teaching is a lie, they would all stop tomorrow. And so I think that the main point of what I'm trying to say is going to be the importance behind actually doing your own research and showing NASA to be the fraud that they are. Because of the education that we were given and because of the indoctrination and because of every TV show and video and commercial and logo. If you're about the truth, if you care about actually talking about what things are true and you actually respect people who are willing to speak out about that, then you will come to the realization eventually that we've been lied to, on the largest possible scale. But I also know 100% one thing, and that's that they're hiding God.
What?
Without a doubt, in my mind, that is the reason for this all. And like you said, people are getting paid to do it.
Students' claim is reigniting the debate about prayer in schools. The high schooler says an administrator kept her from praying before she ate her lunch.
Senior running back
Pedro Banda scored the touchdown that would send his team to the playoffs for the first time. But what Pedro did next got him kicked out of the game and put his football future in jeopardy. He pointed his hand to the sky and thanked God.
When we say public schools, what we really mean is government schools. We have given to the government the role of educating our children. I think that's a bad idea. Very bad idea. Very bad idea.
Students all across America, thousands and thousands of students who are learning. They're learning about space flight.
Wouldn't that be nice? Can you believe that space is going to do that?
NASA
shit.
does what they can to teach you about something you'll never experience. And they force it down your throat as if it is part of your experience. And people have adopted it as if space travel is part of their experience, as if orbits are part of your experience, as if satellites are part of your experience. Because of the research I've done, that clearly shows me that these things are not legit. And I think people need to really take the time to look into satellites, for instance, just as an example. That, yeah, we're told satellites exist. We're told what they do. And if I say they don't exist and somebody makes a video and says, well, right here, you can go to this website and it says right here the satellites exist and what they do. If it's a deception, well then, no shit, Sherlock. If you go check out a web page that's about satellites, then you're not going to find the deception there. It's something that people just don't do. They don't demand proof of things that we're told. That's the problem. It is absolutely a joke to be shown CGI images, to be shown black and white images of Saturn's rings. It's a joke. It is absolutely the worst thing I've ever seen because of what it does to the minds of people. And science should always be about moving towards the truth. And science should never be settled. It should never be settled science. And it should always be open for question. It should always be open for new evidence to come along. And that's not the science we're given today. We live in the world we see with our eyes every day. You can recognize what's real, what's real, what's real. And what's not.
So when you look at a compass, it's 360 degrees, right? If you can see my circle. But if everywhere you face it, like, how does that work? Because you have 0, right? Oops. I can see it better in my head. I actually have to have a picture of a globe and a compass but if you shoot 0 on the compass, it always shoots you to the North Pole no matter where you're standing. Right?
I'm not going to adopt something as my belief until I've done the research behind it. And you understand that, and you recognize the power behind research and investigation.
Now I thought flat Earth was bullshit because I was told to believe that.
You must unlearn what you have created. No.
And I want y'all to be honest as possible. Do y'all think the Earth is flat?
No.
No? Why not?
It's Earth.
Who told you that?
History fourth grade. Yeah, the science teachers.
You don't think so? You don't think it's flat?
There's possibilities.
Possibilities?
Just because maybe.
Maybe.
Race.
Y'all think we move? You think we spinning?
Probably.
I mean, that's what the science books say.
Gravity.
Do you feel it? So what is gravity?
Oh, I don't know the true definition.
You think it's a ball? And what's your best proof that it's a ball and that it's not flat?
Because of the satellite, they show the image, that's the way.
The satellite? The pictures that you see? But you yourself, can you feel the Earth spinning right now? No? Okay. Have you ever seen the Earth curving? Me neither. You know why? It's because the Earth is
you gotta
flat.
see it to believe it, because every horizon I've seen, it's always been the same. Like jumping out of airplanes, keep your feet and knees to the breeze and your eyes on the horizon. I never thought that I really can't see that far. But when you're up in the air, it's all flat. I don't know.
And it doesn't spin. Look into it.
You prove to me that the Earth is round.
Okay, obviously I can't.
You can't. So all you can go by is what? What you read, what you were told, right?
Exactly.
But what you see, the people that told you that the Earth is round also say that we're spinning on an axis going around the sun.
Yeah.
Do you feel it?
No,
Have you ever seen the curve?
What do you mean? Have you ever
No,
seen
the Earth curve. Have you ever seen it?
No, of course you can't.
You can't see it.
No.
Exactly. So how? How is it right? It can't be. It can't be.
Okay.
It can't just be. It just is.
Can you?
So many times during spacewalks outside the International Space Station, we can see air bubbles rising up. Can you touch on how there are air bubbles in space?
Can you be more specific? Air bubbles?
So yeah, like a lot of times during the footage, the NASA footage, you can see bubbles coming up out of the helmets or kind of from underneath you.
Often on the outside of the space station, you'll liberate little pieces of, it's a really harsh environment out there, and the outside of the space station gets beat up pretty good. And sometimes, you'll see just those flecks of paint or something that you might have disrupted floating away from the suit. And, that's generally what that is. I've never seen any kind of air bubble anywhere.
Could it be that you're filming in an underwater pool and you're not really out there?
No.
I encourage everyone to look up Bubbles in Space, hashtag Bubbles in Space. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hashtag Bubbles in Space.
I beg you to do the research that I've done, which is just simply go and look at this stuff. Really question everything. Because if they faked it once, what's to stop them from faking it twice? And what's to stop them from faking it all?
Everything about this world is fake. Fake food, fake political systems, fake religious system, fake medical system, fake skies. It's unreal.
The American government has created
weather tampering techniques so that the New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans and to control the rest.
There is weather control techniques. We have a complete package on that, which I did not bring, but I certainly will see to it that it is brought in for the record. Number one, the entire patents on the equipment. Number two, Senator Claiborne Pell's complete statement and story of his own that not only does it exist, but that we even utilized it as far back as the Vietnam War. You might want to touch base with Senator Pell.
I just want to repeat before I turn it.
So yes, but we do have all that information.
You're saying the government in New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans
worldwide,
millions of Americans, and to control the rest.
Yes, sir. And if somebody had told me that that equipment even existed 10 years ago, I would have thought they were nuts, sir. And at this point in time, we have all the documents to prove it. And if you think that 85 tornadoes takes place in the middle of our growing area by simultaneous
No
acts,
fucking way. That's literally happening right now. For the past 2 days. Interesting.
I'm sorry, with the equipment that's already set up internationally, and as bizarre as that is, it is proven and documented, we will supply you with those documents, that they are the greatest weapon ever created in the world.
Chemtrails. You know, when I was a kid, I used to see these trails in the sky all the time, and that's cool. A jet just went over. And then you started to see a whole bunch of them. And next thing you know, everybody in your neighborhood was fighting and arguing, and you didn't know why. Okay, and you really didn't know why. I mean, everybody was fighting.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths,
Bohemian Grove,
and to secret proceedings. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. But I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people.
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know.
You don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Come on, Jimmy.
Oh, shit.
Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on.
A new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order. A new world order where diverse nations are drawn together in common cause to achieve the universal aspirations of mankind. A new world order can emerge. There is the very real prospect of a new world order.
You cannot prove a lie.
Well, you say, for example, that there were no planes that hit the World Trade Center. Is that your contention? Well, did you see the videotape that the rest of us saw?
What you will see is a fake, a cartoon display.
You're suggesting if that there's some kind of cartoon animation there, you're suggesting that the news media was a part of this.
Yes,
those pictures came from the news
No
media.
second flight. It was a bomb. Bombing another building, not second plane. That was a bomb. Who said the second plane?
That's what we're told. The second plane. We saw it on television. We saw it on television. We saw it on television.
I didn't see a plane go in. That just exploded.
I didn't see any airplane.
Did you see it? Yes, I saw it. It just blew up. A big explosion.
Everything I saw told me it was bombed.
And then the South Tower just exploded.
The second building went off.
It just blew up. I was underneath it. I was looking at the tower. I had my camera in my hand. I heard the noise. I never saw the airplane. I never saw the airplane.
That's what we're told. The second plane. We saw it on television.
I
never saw the airplane.
I didn't see any airplane.
What's up, Ryan? How you doing, man?
I learned that from the news media.
We saw it on television. We saw it on television. We saw it on television.
Charles Jaco, CNN, reporting live from Saudi Arabia. Oh, I love this country so much.
You guys just don't have a clue.
Now, when you detect this, you can tell it's been launched. Thank you. Boy, did I almost look stupid.
Now, this would piss me off.
If you are able to take a question, did you think that the possible threat would be over because it is now morning there? It's what, just after 6 o'clock in the morning?
The whole thing is everyone assumed that the threat was...
Actually, hold on a second. I don't know if I showed you guys this, but I'm going to pull it up real quick. Let me find it real quick. Where did I fucking save it to? Here we go. If you guys haven't seen this yet, hold on. It's not pulling up on the right screen. So this right here, right? If you look at it, it says the people are the enemy with the Department of Homeland Security. Memorandum actually came out in 2009. And these are the people that the Department of Homeland Security are telling you the enemy. Very first group on that list. It's military veterans who have fought in foreign wars and are disgruntled over the takeover of the U.S. Anti-war individuals, they're the enemy. That's kind of weird. Tax-resistant movement. So likely taxation is theft. Damn. Alternate media. Oh, okay. I mean, damn it. Opponents of open border policy. Whoa. What the fuck? Well, that was weird. Huh. It just went blank on my screen for the... Okay, I'll stop playing that one then. Fuck me.
Be over because it was early morning, but the thing about Saddam Hussein is that he has never done the expected, and right now we have all right, we are now led to understand that there are also firings in another city in Saudi Arabia. CNN's Carl Rochelle is here with me. It just came up. Carl, I know we can't be very specific given these restrictions, but within those parameters, what did you see?
Well, what I saw, I didn't see anything hit. I looked almost straight above us. There's a vapor trail coming from my right to my left.
Yeah, that's a list from the Department of Homeland Security put out in 2009 saying who is and shouldn't be targeted by the government. 2009, keep that in mind.
Cloud of something. It looks like it might have been an explosion of cloud. The white city.
Oh, one mask, one helmet. Okay, no big deal.
He's putting on the gas mask. There hasn't been any gas dropped here that we can tell. You may smell some of the fumes from a missile exhaust going off. This is using rocket and cordite.
Maybe that's why they didn't like the hip.
We're just brainstorming here. We're trying to figure out how to make the news less boring.
The news is supposed to be boring, Ron. Serious stuff.
I just don't know why we have to tell the people what they need to hear. Why can't we just tell them what they want to hear?
Wait. Say that again?
I said, why do we have to tell the people what they need to hear? Why can't we just tell them what they want to hear?
And what do they want to hear?
Good evening, and we come on the air at this hour because we are following developments out of Manchester, England. Reports of an explosion at an Ariana Grande concert, urging people to stay away from the area. They have confirmed multiple fatalities.
No shit.
And what do they want to hear?
To reports of a shooting, we're told, at Newton Elementary School. This morning, it's in the southwestern part of Connecticut. That's according to a police spokesman, Lieutenant Paul Vance.
And what do they want to hear?
Police have now confirmed at least 4 attacks in the city of Paris. The AP reporting there were suicide bombers outside the stadium. You could hear it right there as the game was going on.
That's the fucking problem. The people that are gullible and they just buy all this shit. That's the problem. It means everything we see on TV is all programmed. Not like just some of it. I trust them here and I trust them. These are straight.
That's the Truman Show.
Corruption, straight
You guys know what really
brainwash,
started
mind
making me,
control.
This actually happened last week. Was that fucking pamphlet, man? That dude that was put in the air that lit himself on fire. That fucking pamphlet lit. It's weird because that dude was supposedly some big lefty who supported all these Democrats, which he might have well been so. But then again, they might want you to believe that so you don't pay attention to it, right? I don't. Crisis actors. Where's Gomez at?
So we'll see if Robbie Parker,
All
I
right.
assume he's going to come up.
Crisis actors, I think, is where I really started noticing them, because you had interviews of the parents supposedly distraught that were laughing before the interview started because their kids just got killed, right?
Out to the microphones now and make a statement. Looks like the family is there and they're getting ready to make to come to the microphone, so we'll listen to it.
Okay.
Oh shit. That resurfaced, huh? You know what I mean? This shit actually happened.
So my name's Robbie Parker. My family is one of the families that lost a child yesterday in the Sandy Hook Elementary School shootings here in Connecticut. I've been contacted by so many people and agencies.
Bring back that thought of what happened when that whistleblower, well, not really whistleblower, the fucking idiot that said they targeted Alex Jones and they used that to shut him up.
To know how we're doing, and I just thought that this might be the best way to share those feelings with everybody. I'm not mad because I have my agency to make sure that I use this event to do what I can.
Crisis cast and a crisis revert to training.
2019, freshly out of the military. My buddy sends me an email to what I thought was a private security thing in Georgia, and they were asking for military veterans with a concealed carry weapons that has their own weapon, has their own body armor, to come down to Atlanta for about a month, get paid $500 a day. And I was like, oh, that doesn't sound all that bad. Well, it's because we were supposed to be a crisis actors. We were there for an action movie. But funny thing is, shortly after that, like, the Summer of Love started. Kind of weird. Or maybe it was
Selling the service of
2020.
crisis
No, it was 2020
actors.
after I retired.
Let's go through this website a little bit and take a look. Crisis Cast, award-winning role-play actors and filmmakers specially trained in disaster and crisis management. So this is very real. We dramatize events for emerging security needs in the UK, Middle East, and worldwide. Our specialist role-play actors, many with security clearance, are trained by behavioral psychologists and rigorously rehearse in criminal and victim behavior to help police, the Army, and the emergency services, hospitals, schools, local authorities, government, private security firms, shopping centers, airports, big business, criminal justice departments, media, and the military.
Country Western concert, and you were right near the front. Corinne, what just started happening?
They started shooting, and everyone stayed down. And as soon as everyone started to get up to run, they just kept shooting, and it's like literally like 5 minutes of just shooting, and people just kept dropping. And it's definitely someone on the ground. Definitely, most definitely. The way they herded the crowd and all of us, and then they kept coming. They even came into the back staff parking lot and shot people out there too. So they just kept coming, and I hope they get them.
On the next Dr. Phil, do you know a narcissist?
My world revolves around me.
Wait.
Completely. That whole thing was a mischaracterization. You made me look horrible.
Is this a mischaracterization of her?
No.
Eyewitness now, Louis Bourbano, is also with us right now. Louis, you were inside the club as well?
Yes, George. I was inside one of the main bars in the front when you turn in at first.
Where was the shooting coming from?
The entrance was to my right. I was at the far end to the left of the bar. There's a mini hallway that enters to my bar where the bar was in. I don't even remember breathing. I
have a certain amount of trepidation. The year anniversary, we talk about it with our friends in this group of families, the people that we resonate with, and we don't know what we're going to do. We don't know what to do. We haven't figured it out yet.
Pull the trigger! Wait, take me with you. But I don't even know where I'm going. I won't go to a heaven you've abandoned. Pull the trigger! Okay.
Interesting.
Was bloody. This is the shirt you actually
got sprayed with some bullets there.
And how is your arm now? Obviously, it's in
like still got the two holes right there where they entered.
Where?
I thought it might have.
Bullet entered.
Yeah, unfortunately, it didn't enter anywhere else because it had done some damage. And then the shrapnel is still like on my shoulder right in here.
So the shrapnel's still inside your shoulder.
Sir.
Are they going to take that out? Or?
They said they're going to wait because it's a complicated surgery because of the muscles, so it may not.
Right. We all remember this.
Don't just have a great night. Have an American night.
With a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom. All right. And yeah, you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is, there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, he was.
First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore.
What do you mean?
Enough? Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world. Millions of despairing men, women, and little children. Victims of a system that makes men torture.
I know
and
this.
imprison innocent people.
In my video.
To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed. The bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die. And the power they took from the people will return to the people.
If you want to go fight, go to Iraq and Afghanistan. Stop hurting these people, man. Why y'all do this to our people? I've been to Iraq 14 months for my people. It doesn't make any sense. How do you sleep at night? There is no honor in this. You're here to protect us. Protect us. Why are you hurting U.S. citizens?
Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts.
That's
you
where
are not
they
machine.
fucked up. They dragged the war out so fucking long that we realized that they were full of shit. That's why we're fucking domestic terrorists.
You are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate. The unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason. A world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness.
What? That was The sad part is now that I guess I've come out of that veil, I could actually see this shit being reality. That everything, that's why social media is so big right now. Because it makes you like, I don't have to question anything. Someone else will answer it for me. It's crazy because it always goes back to what I tell y'all. I'm not telling you how to think. Like I said, I wasn't here to change your mind. This video actually helped solidify what I've been thinking and saying for the past 5 years. I'm just telling y'all to think. Damn, man. Anyway, I hope y'all learned something new today. I hope y'all just opened up your mind and realized asking questions is a good thing. You know? Hold on. Excuse me. Just share this video. I mean, if you want to. I don't really give a fuck. Because if you wanted to watch it, you're here, considering this is like a 2-hour long video. But I was like invested in this video. Like for real, for real. Like when that migraine kicked in, I really wanted to cut it off. And I was going to cut it off. But something in my mind said, you know what? Keep going. Keep going. And I'm gonna have to go back and pat myself on the back and maybe smoke a joint. I'm sorry. But anyway, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, thank you for joining me. And wow, some good shit. And now you know why we're the enemy.
I think it's time to walk away from everything that I know. In a room full of people and I feel all alone, because the people ain't my people and my house ain't a home. So I leave and seek peace somewhere out on my own. Yeah, I'm a lone wolf. Yeah, I'm a lone wolf. Oh, I'm just a lone wolf. Yeah, maybe I'm a lone wolf. Yeah, I spend most of my time by myself, that's cool. A lot of folks dislike me if I'm telling the truth. I used to hang with the gang, not the game with the crew. The money made them betray me, what you think I'ma do? Way the world been to me, I ain't giving no mercy. I certainly know these blood-sucking leeches are thirsty. Not only do I stay away cause you trying to hurt me, but I also know you do not deserve me now. I'm the lone wolf, straight away from the pack, don't howl at the moon. Forgive me for just minding my business, been out of the loop. I invest, I take wins and I take losses on my lonesome. When they ask about me, don't be fabricating like you know something. I'm too mysterious, that's probably why you curious. And every time you see me succeed, I bet you furious. They say don't never take a next move, I wonder why. Because your own guys envy your groove, they never lie. Step aside, I don't need no codependent. Don't want people around me, the opposite, they codependent. When they tell me I don't got nobody, I don't get offended. Ain't a single person that can come around taking credit. I know where I'm headed. Plus I'm the only one that I know I can depend on. Crazy when it happens, I got way too many friends gone. Not supposed to happen, but I'm so close to the end zone. Me against the world and I'm 10 toes. Yeah, I think it's time to walk away from everything that I know. In a room full of people and I feel all alone, because the people ain't my people and my house ain't a home. So I leave and seek peace somewhere out on my own. Yeah, I'm a lone wolf. Yeah, I'm a lone wolf. Oh, I'm just a lone wolf. Yeah, maybe I'm a lone wolf. Have you ever had to walk away from everything that you know? In a room full of people and you felt all alone. Then you know. Now you know, now you know, now you know. Yeah, then you know. Now you know, now you know, now you know now. Them people ain't your people, that house ain't your home. It's time you seek peace somewhere out on your own. And you know. Yeah, I think you know.
Yeah, time to take it back. Back when you wouldn't find me without a backpack. Back when my dreams of rhyming was getting laughed at. Making fun of me, money I didn't have that. Not paying taxes, what you make, who got the last laugh? Drop dictator, cause I ain't no lab rat. People coming up to me like, ain't you that cat? Maybe it's the beard, maybe it's the black hat. Maybe cause they tired of hearing trash rap. Daydreaming as a kid, saw it so clear. Unaware this whole thing full of smoke and mirrors. Unaware your favorite rapper either broke or scared. Can't see what they want, they lose their whole career. Said forget it, it's independent the way I'm headed. 100% if I said it, baby, you know I'm in it. Call me political in my raps. Rather be that than political with friendships. If I don't laugh, I'ma shed a tear. These lanes better cheer for snapping their careers. Born alone, die alone. I suggest you spend them years in between finding God, cause finding true friends is rare. Yeah, I swear I used to trust everyone, but nowadays I don't even go to church without a gun. God is my witness, I could write a book about it. And I started with this verse, cause Burden wrote a hook about it like.
It's time to walk away from everything that I know. In a room full of people and I feel all alone, because the people ain't my people and my house ain't a home. So I leave and seek peace somewhere out on my own. Yeah, I'm a lone wolf.